Welcome to our deep dive on younger looking skin. We got some interesting stuff sent over, practical tips from Eucerin UK and Nivea, and advice from an aging specialist, Dr. Larry Fan.
It's going to be interesting to see how these sources compare, skincare brands versus a medical doctor, but it looks like they actually agree on a lot of the basics.
That's what I was thinking too. All right, well, let's jump right into it. And I think a perfect place to start is sun protection. I mean, everyone knows we need sunscreen, but Eucerin points out that it's not just UV rays that cause damage, but also something called HEVS light.
Right. HEVS light, or high energy visible light. And that's something we're exposed to every day from our phones and computers and even some indoor lighting. And while research is still ongoing, it does look like HEVS light can penetrate deeper than UV rays, which can lead to things like collagen breakdown and hyperpigmentation.
So it's not just about being sun smart. When we're outside, we have to think about our indoor environments too.
Exactly.
So we put on those blue light glasses, huh? Okay, so moving on, both Eucerin and Nivea talk about hyaluronic acid for hydration, but Eucerin takes it a step further with their hyaluron filler epigenetic serum.
Yeah, epigenetics is a super interesting field. It's basically the study of how our environment and lifestyle choices can actually turn certain genes on or off. And Eucerin claims that their serum, specifically an ingredient called epicillin, can reactivate genes that promote youthful skin function.
Hold on, for those of us who didn't take a genetics class, can you break that down a bit?
Right.
What kind of genes are we talking about, and how does something like epicillin actually influence them?
Okay, so think of it this way. Our skin cells have the instructions for making things like collagen and elastin, all the stuff that keeps skin firm and smooth. But as we age, the genes responsible for those functions, they kind of become less active, like they're getting sleepy or something. And epicillin is supposed to work by influencing these chemical tags that attach to our DNA, and those tags can actually silence certain genes. So by changing those tags, the idea is that you can wake up those sleepy genes and boost the production of those vital proteins.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not just about adding moisture topically. It's potentially about influencing how our skin behaves at a cellular level.
Right.
Fascinating stuff. Now, the serum is specific to Eucerin, but Nivea also talks about the importance of a good skincare routine, especially cleansing.
And that's important for a couple of reasons. First, it gets rid of all the gunk that builds up on our skin, dirt pollution, makeup residue, all that stuff that can clog pores and stop other products from working properly. And second, cleansing helps with cell turnover, basically getting rid of dead skin cells and making room for new ones to grow, which gives you that brighter, smoother complexion.
So it's like prepping the canvas before you paint.
Exactly.
Okay, so both brands mention hyaluronic acid, and you talked about how important hydration is, but what's the science behind how it works? How does it actually benefit our skin?
So hyaluronic acid, it's what's called a humectant, which means it attracts and holds on to water molecules. And it's actually found naturally in our skin, but those levels start to go down as we age. So when you apply it topically, it draws moisture from the air and binds it to the skin's surface, and that plumps up fine lines and wrinkles. But it also creates a barrier to prevent moisture loss.
So it's not just a temporary fix, it's actually helping our skin hold on to its own moisture better. Got it. Now, moving beyond skincare products, Dr. Fan emphasizes a holistic approach, and he specifically recommends vitamins A, C, E, and D. What makes these vitamins so crucial for skin health?
Well, each of those vitamins plays a specific role. So vitamin A, which you can find in things like sweet potatoes and carrots, it's a powerful antioxidant, which means it helps protect your skin from damage caused by free radicals, which are one of the things that lead to wrinkles. It also helps with cell turnover, giving you that fresh, youthful glow.
And vitamin C, that's important for collagen production, right? The protein that gives our skin its structure.
Right. You can find vitamin C in lots of fruits and veggies like citrus fruits, bell peppers, strawberries.
And then there's vitamin E, which I think is in nuts and seeds. It's another antioxidant.
Yep, another powerful one, helping to fight off those free radicals.
And lastly, vitamin D, which we get from sunlight, but also things like fatty fish that helps with cell growth and repair.
Exactly. It's like they all work together to keep your skin healthy.
It's like a superhero team for your skin.
I like that. And all of this ties into Dr. Fan's emphasis on hydration. Water is essential for every single bodily function, including skin cell regeneration.
It's so easy to forget to drink enough water, but maybe we need a reminder app or something.
That's not a bad idea.
Speaking of reminders, I love Nivea's tip about not forgetting our feet.
It's true we tend to neglect our feet, but they need love too. And regular pedicures and moisturizing can actually help boost circulation, which is good for overall skin health.
That's a transition I didn't see coming, but I like it. And Dr. Fan also talks about the link between exercise and better circulation.
Yeah, Nivea mentions exercise too, but more for that youthful glow.
So what's the connection there? I mean, we know exercise is good for us, but how does it specifically impact our skin?
Well, when you exercise, you increase blood flow, which means more oxygen and nutrients are getting delivered to your skin cells, and that can lead to a brighter complexion. Plus, exercise helps reduce inflammation, and it helps us manage stress, which we know plays a huge role in how we age.
So we've covered sun protections, skincare routines, diet, hydration, exercise. It's a lot to keep track of. But before we get overwhelmed, Dr. Fan brings up something that could be helpful for people experiencing age-related changes. Hormone replacement therapy, or HRT.
HRT can be really helpful for some people, especially women going through menopause, because those hormonal fluctuations can cause a decrease in collagen production, thinner skin, and more dryness. And HRT can help replenish those hormones, which can potentially slow down some of those changes. But it's super important to remember that HRT is a medical treatment, and it does have potential risks and side effects. So it's really crucial to talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you.
That's a good point. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Not at all.
All right, well, I think that's a good place to pause. For now, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, from the science of epigenetics to the importance of drinking enough water, and even touched on hormone replacement therapy.
You know, picking up where we left off, it's interesting that while we've been talking about these high-tech approaches like those epigenetic serums, there are also some really simple things you can do that can make a difference. For example, Nivea suggests adjusting your makeup routine as you get older.
Like how so? I guess as your skin changes, your makeup routine would probably need to change too.
Exactly. They talk about opting for lighter shades of lipstick, using warmer blush tones, and maybe switching from liquid eyeliner to a softer pencil, because as we age, our skin tends to get thinner and more delicate. So using heavy makeup can sometimes actually make those fine lines and wrinkles more noticeable, and using softer colors and blending things out more can give you a more natural look, a more youthful look.
That makes sense. It's about enhancing, not masking.
Right.
Now, before we get too focused on the external stuff, I want to circle back to something Dr. Fan said about mindset. You know how stress can actually age us, and not just our skin, but our overall health.
Oh, he's absolutely right. When you're stressed out, your body produces more cortisol, and cortisol can actually break down collagen and elastin, those proteins that keep our skin firm and bouncy, and stress can also mess with your sleep. And we know that getting enough sleep is super important for skin repair.
So it's not just about the creams and treatments, it's about managing stress too,
Okay.
which is easier said than done right.
It definitely takes effort.
For sure.
But Dr. Fan suggests some simple things you can try, like deep breathing exercises, getting regular exercise, and even just taking some time for yourself to relax and recharge.
I like that. And those tips actually connect nicely with what Nivea said about the benefits of exercise. They talked about how regular physical activity can improve circulation, boost your mood, and even slow down cellular aging.
And it's true, exercise is kind of like a multi-pronged approach to aging. Well, it increases blood flow, so your skin cells are getting more oxygen and nutrients, which can give you a brighter complexion. And it also helps with stress management and sleep, which indirectly benefits your skin.
So we've got sun protection, a good skincare routine, a healthy diet, lots of water, exercise, and stress management. Phew. Anything else we're missing?
Well, you know how Eucerin talked about epigenetics and those youth-activating serums? That whole idea of epigenetics is really fascinating. It's about understanding how our lifestyle and environment can actually influence our genes, and as a result, how our skin ages.
Wait, so you're telling me that it's not just about genetics, it's about the choices we make every day?
Exactly. You can't change your genes, but you can influence how they express themselves, and that's what's so exciting about this. Kind of gives you a sense of control over the aging process.
That is pretty mind-blowing. But it's also important to remember that aging is a natural process. It's going to happen no matter what. I mean, we're not aiming for eternal youth here, are we?
No, definitely not. All of these tips and things we've talked about, it's not about erasing wrinkles or trying to look like you're 20. Again, it's about supporting healthy skin throughout your life, no matter how old you are.
Well said. It's about feeling confident and comfortable in your own skin.
And that actually reminds me of something else Dr. Fan said about how true beauty comes from within. It's about appreciating your unique features and celebrating your experiences and letting that confidence shine through.
I love that. It's a good reminder that self-acceptance is probably the most powerful anti-aging tool we have.
I think so too. When you feel good about yourself, it shows, and that kind of inner radiance, you can't get that from a bottle.
So true. Well, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up this segment as we head into the final part of our deep dive. Let's keep that in mind. It's not just about looking younger, it's about feeling good, embracing where you are in life, and approaching aging with a positive attitude. All right, so we're back for the last part of our deep dive into younger looking skin. And, after talking about all this science-y stuff, what really sticks out to me is how much of this is about self-care.
I know, right? It's like whether we're talking about protecting our skin from the sun or eating healthy or managing stress, it all comes back to taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, inside and out, it's like building a foundation of well-being and healthy skin is just one part of that. And speaking of well-being, Dr. Fan also talked about the importance of staying active and engaged
Yeah.
as we age, trying new things and keeping our minds sharp.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. It's about staying curious and having new experiences and challenging yourself. Those things can really keep you feeling young and vibrant.
So it's not just about, passively accepting aging. It's about actively shaping the process.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated either. Like, remember my Via's tip about pampering your feet? Sometimes those little acts of self-care can make a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. And those little rituals can be really powerful, whether it's a skincare routine or a meditation practice or even just taking 5 minutes to enjoy a cup of tea. It's about making time for yourself and doing things that make you feel good.
Exactly. It's about finding those things that bring you joy and make you feel comfortable in your own skin. And when you do that, it really shows. It's like a natural glow that no product can replicate. So true. Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on before we go. I want to leave you with a little something to think about. We've talked a lot about what we can do to promote healthy skin. But what if you could reactivate one thing about your younger self? And I don't just mean something skin related, but anything. What would it be? Was it a sense of adventure? Or a carefree attitude, or tons of energy? What part of that youthful spirit would you love to tap back into today?
That's a great question. It reminds us that youthfulness is about so much more than just how we look. It's about how we feel and how we approach life. And I think that spark of curiosity and passion, that's something that stays with us no matter how old we get.
Beautifully said. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into younger looking skin. We hope you learned some new things and that you feel inspired to take care of yourself both inside and out. And remember, true beauty comes from within. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.